Hi, I'm Brianne and welcome to my video about Worldview. In this video, I will discuss my perspective on the following 3 questions. First, what is a worldview? What impact does it have in our lives? And what is the effect of sharing our worldview with students in the classroom? To begin with, what does the word worldview actually mean? The dictionary definition of the term worldview is a particular philosophy of life or conception of the world. A worldview is also commonly described as the lens through which an individual views the world. This lens, so to speak, is unique to each individual as it is impacted by specific life circumstances and environment in which the individual grows up in. Because of this, people can have similar worldviews, maybe on a particular topic, but no two people will have the exact same worldview on absolutely everything. Before I go any further, I would like to challenge you with something. A worldview is something we see the whole world through. Sounds obvious, I know. But that means that everything we view, read, take in, and even create is tinted by the lens of our worldview. Therefore, if you agree with all of that, would you agree that even this very assignment that I'm presenting to you right now is tinted, so to speak, with my worldview? I believe that yes, it is. Just something to keep in mind as we continue. So, I should at this point let you know I have a Christian Seventh-day Adventist worldview which has been developed through a range of experiences and challenges, life circumstances, personal beliefs and values about God and Christianity. Now that you know about my worldview, back to my presentation. What impacts does a worldview have in our lives? A worldview literally impacts every aspect of one's life. From my perspective, my worldview again, there is almost nothing an individual does that is outside of their worldview. This is because our worldview is so closely linked to our identity and the way we see ourselves. If we do something that is outside of our worldview and doesn't fit, we are most likely to feel quite uncomfortable about the whole situation. This impacts largely our worldview on the decisions that we make. For example, someone with a worldview that tells them that money is of importance and financial security is particularly necessary to live in this world might be more likely to decide to keep the job they currently have that is stable but that they don't particularly enjoy, rather than changing jobs to something more enjoyable that has more opportunities but is less stable. My Bible-centered worldview is largely based on, of course, the Bible, as a book that I believe is inspired by God and is His living word. Someone who doesn't share this Christian worldview may find this hard to relate to, and therefore may, but not necessarily, have an impact on the way we relate to each other. A worldview shapes an individual's values. People's worldview impacts their political views, the way they perceive the media, and the way they relate to others. What is the effect of sharing our worldview with students in the classroom? Having a Bible-based worldview, I believe that sharing my worldview has an incredible impact on students. Because my worldview is based on a belief in God, the fall of humanity, and God's desperate desire to be restored with us through the gift of His Son Jesus, my worldview tells me that its impact is a matter of life and death, so to speak. For God so loved the world that He gave His only Son, so that no one should perish, but should have eternal life. John 3:16. The impact of sharing my worldview on a surface level within my teaching space is the way in which my classroom looks, the culture I build in it, and the way I treat my students based on my worldview values. One of the people I look up to most in the teaching field is Alfie Cohen. In his profession, he has written many books about teaching, learning, classroom and children. These books have strongly impacted my worldview, and teaching from his perspective impacts my students in the way I treat them. Here are a few quotes from Alfie Cohen that show a window into my worldview. Children, after all, are not just adults in the making, they are people whose current needs and rights are experiences that need to be taken seriously. In outstanding classrooms, teachers do more listening than talking, and students do more talking than listening. Terrific teachers often have bite marks on their tongues. And finally, to sum up my worldview, I believe that sharing my worldview in my classroom can ultimately bring an individual into saving relationship with Jesus Christ, and therefore into eternal life.